Hello folks, Darren Chang again. Welcome to my kitchen for another review of a crossover Daypack. This Daypack is made by Vaude and it's the PETros. This PETros is a 25-liter bag and it really does have pretty much all the things that I look for in a crossover Daypack. So let's take a tour and see what we got here. Okay, so let's start here with the front of the bag. There is a slash pocket right up here, up front, and this is the organizer panel for the bag. And you can see here that it's a pretty simple organizer. It really doesn't have a whole lot going on here. 3 little loops, elasticized loops here for pens or styli, whatever you want there. And then 2 generic pockets that you have just below this, and then an open space below here too. Perhaps you just want to toss your wallet or cell phone into that open area there. It's about, I'd say, an inch in terms of its depth, so it can actually hold quite a bit. You could easily put a pair of headphones, pretty heavy-duty headphones in there. And it is quilted, it's padded, so it will protect those headphones if you need to. Just behind that organization compartment, you have another zippered compartment here, and this one's a little bit bigger. And this is completely generic in terms of no divisions in here, no sub pockets within this area here. It's quite a bit bigger in terms of its depth. It's a good 2.5 inches in terms of its depth. And this could easily hold onto a fleece jacket for sure. I mean, it's got a good amount of room and it goes in there fairly deeply. Okay, before we get into the main compartment, you'll also see that at the very top of the bag, when it's filled, it'll lift up more like so. At the very top of the bag, you have a pocket that also is quilted. It has some padding in here. And this is perfect for either your cell phone or your glasses. And it's even big enough, in fact, for, it looks like a pair of goggles. I mean, this is a really good sized space here. It's not divided. It only has sort of the one area that you can actually put something into. So perhaps if they divided it with a padded divider, you could have put your cell phone and your sunglasses into this one pocket. Too bad, lost opportunity. So just behind that, we have the main compartment of the bag. And please notice one great thing about this bag, no compression straps here to get in the way of unzipping the bag, so you have easy access. Compression straps, in my mind, are of limited value for something like a Daypack where you're just not carrying all that much stuff to begin with. So this opens up into the largest compartment that you have here. And you can see here there are 2 pockets, and it's a single pocket that's divided into with an elasticized top. That's all you have for organization inside of there. Otherwise, this is a really good sized compartment. I mean, this is where you're going to put your binders, notebooks, etc. In fact, one thing I should point out here, this pocket right here, this one I talked about moments ago, actually seems like an ideal place to put like a pair of sneakers or shoes. So if you're using this as a commuter bag, maybe you're cycling into work and you're wearing your cycling shoes, you can throw them into here, trade them out with whatever dress shoes you're going to be wearing for work. Leave them in your bag right there. Okay, so there's the main compartment. Zippers are very smooth. They're not the heaviest duty zippers, and the pulls themselves, they're good. They're not great. They look a little bit cheap, but they're certainly functional. The zipper pulls are functional. And then the last zippered compartment we have here is that for the laptop. Now, what's interesting here is that most of the time these bags have a pocket inside of the laptop compartment. So you can slide in your laptop, and then in front of your laptop you might be able to put file folders or maybe even an iPad or something. But in this case, it's just a single open pocket. It is a gapingly huge pocket. I think you could easily fit a 17-inch MacBook Pro into this area. But it isn't divided, and interestingly, it doesn't zip all the way down to the very bottom so that you can open it up when you go through the airport, go through TSA in an airport, and So in other words, you're going to be forced to take your computer out and put it into one of those bins when you go through the screening process. You can see here at the top, there's a little handle, grab handle, which not only allows you to be able to grab this quickly when you're on the move, but it also allows you to be able to hang this thing when you get to your hotel room or get to your whatever boardroom or anything. You just need to hang it on something. So it actually is a very functional piece there. And then let's swing around here to the bottom. You'll see here there's a zippered compartment. You might think, what? Zippered compartment on the very bottom of the bag? What's that all about? Well, it turns out in here is where they keep the rainfly. And the rainfly is detachable, but it's actually held in there with a little fabric ribbon, and you can pull the whole thing out and put it on there. So I really like it when the bag companies have an integrated rainfly like this, because then you don't have to remember to pack the rainfly, or you don't have to remember where it is in the bag. It has its own dedicated space right here, which you aren't going to use for anything anyway because it's on the bottom of your pack. And in fact, this offers some level of protection as well to whatever you have inside your pack, because it cushions whatever you have that's in there a little bit more. Okay, so nice to have the rainfly in there. Let's spin things around and take a look at the suspension system here. Pretty simple suspension system. Let's begin with the fact that there's a plastic frame sheet that keeps it nice and stiff, and that's an important thing, because being able to keep a bag like this and have it have its own structure, ultimately, even though you think it would make it less comfortable, it makes it a lot more comfortable because it holds the weight much better when you have a structured pack like this. Well, we have a channel that goes right down your spine to give you relief there. Nice firm padding that's perforated to allow for airflow. Same can be said for the shoulder straps. They're pretty thin, firm foam in there, not unlike most packs of this size. And it also is perforated to allow for airflow. Fully adjustable, there's a sternum strap, and there's also an elastic loop here, and I use this to hook my keys and my ID to. And then lastly, there is indeed a removable waist strap here. This is more about stabilizing the load rather than taking the weight of the load, much like a hip belt or full hip belt on a backpack that you'd use for trekking for 2 weeks through the woods has a hip belt. This is really just for stabilizing. And if you're a cyclist, this is actually invaluable, because then your backpack doesn't sway all over the place when you're making quick turns through campus. So, good job here with their the suspension system, which is no surprise. Vaude is really a technical backpack company, so it trickles down from their top of the line backpacks to something like this, a simple day pack. All right, so this is what I ultimately need to get into my backpack for a typical day at work. So let's go ahead and put this all into the Petros and see how well it goes. Okay, there you have it. Fits all the stuff that I need without too much of a problem, and there's a lot of room left over if you want to put even more in there, although I'm not sure why you'd want to overload your pack too much more than that. So let me go ahead and throw this on and tell you how comfortable it is and how the suspension system holds the bag. Okay, so here we go. The bag is full, and we toss this on. It's actually a very comfortable back. I do love the open channel down the center of my back there. It makes it a lot more comfortable. And while the padding is firm, it's actually comfortable. Sometimes too much padding can make it uncomfortable. This is actually a perfect amount of padding. So this is a really high quality suspension system that we have here for the bag. And I think it does a nice job of holding the weight of the pack nicely on my back, and I can easily imagine using this on a daily basis. Nice job, Vaude.